Before proceeding to the final assembly of the facade chest, which will contain 21 pipes in 3 sets of 7, I thought I would do a little explanation about how the air gets from the wind chest to the pipes, which for the facade is a little bit different than the rest of the instrument, because in the rest of the instrument, the pipes sit directly over their wind supply. But for the facade, they don't. They're actually transferred forward into the facade, but the air is not directly under them. So what has to happen is the air has to transfer one way or another to get there. One typical way to do it is to do it with tubing, and I'd rather not do that. So in this case, I used a series of cross borings. This section in here will be the interior of the chest, which will be inside a sealed box. So this will be pressurized air in this area, held by this valve. And this valve will be attached down over to cover up the holes. What happens when the note plays is the valve collapses. It allows the air to go into this hole. And from there, it is cross-bored internally through this board. And you can see where the cap is to seal it, where I had to drill from here over. Then it goes down 90 degrees through this board here, another hole inside there, and then it mates up with a hole that's cross-bored through this board, and then the pipe sits in here. So the air goes from here, across, down, across, and up. And what happens in this, while I'm at it, I'll explain how this device works. The pressurized air will enter in here through, there's a little port in here. The pressurized air will enter into here, and it'll be surrounded by pressurized air. So it's all equal, just as it is now in atmospheric pressure. It's equal. There's a spring that holds this in place. What happens when you play the note is this magnet coil energizes, and there's a little disc in there. You can't really see it probably in this video, but there's a little disc in there. You can see it's white at the bottom there with a little bit of insulating material on it to seal it. That is drawn away from this hole. When it's not playing, it's actually pressed up against the inside of that hole, which prevents any air from leaking out of here. But when you play the note, that magnet energizes and pulls that disc away, and it allows the air that's inside this pouch to exhaust out this port, which then exhausts out this hole out to atmospheric pressure. When that happens, you have a disparity of pressure. Now you have high pressure in here and atmospheric pressure to the outside, and the pressurized air pushes this down, and that allows it to break away from the hole and allows the air to go through and play the pipe. And that all happens in a split second.